I'm going to run through what's involved in doing a DIY job with the EVA foam on your boat. Okay, so what I'm using here is just like an art book I found at one of the stores locally. What you want is just, this is a like a heavyweight backing card. You want something a bit thicker than paper. If you can find some thin cardboard, that's good. This stuff's worked well for me. It was 20 bucks for 30 sheets. I've got my, I think it was called Black and Charcoal EVA foam, just eBay special. I think it was around 70 bucks a roll. And then just using a bit of my vacuum cleaner just as a template for rounding the edges. Some sandpaper grits. I gave it a whirl with a router and I found it was more trouble than it was worth. It was constantly moving in too far and out too far because it's a soft surface. It was just hard to hold the router properly. So I've just found, yeah, sanding the edges lightly gives a light edge, knocks off any burrs. And then if you've been sanding it and this, can't get that to focus, but if you get any little burred up bits that are sort of left there, you can just singe that off with a lighter. Masking tape for the stencils, and I've just got mineral turpentine for cleaning the surfaces. You need a marker obviously to mark stuff out, some good scissors, and you're good to go. So as you can see, it's pretty easy for a big area. I haven't had to make any cuts there. And you just want to trim off all the excess so it sits flat. On this section, you obviously can't see where you need to cut, so I'm just pressing down to make a bit of a crease as a guide. That'll do me. Alright, chop her out. Just strengthen this up. Chuck some tape on the other side. Alright, let's have a look. Whew. Now I set these, I think it was 10 mil off here. So I'm going to run one section there, one panel there. Hopefully I can flip that and it fits, but this is an old plate boat, so I think all these pieces will probably cut out by hand, and you know, it's probably not the most symmetrical boat ever, so I'll see how I go. I'm not too fussed about it being absolutely perfect. I just want the coverage to keep the heat off your feet when you're up here, but hopefully I can flip it. But that's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So she flips over, fits pretty well on this side too, so I'm just going to use this, cut out two, and get both those sections on. So yeah, that'll be mint. More light. Alright, let's go see how it fits. That's going to be mint. As you can see, that's the state the whole boat was in. I've just slowly been coming around, grinding it all, but yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good start. Alright, so I've got the two front pieces cut. Turns out I could mirror it and they fit in perfectly, which is good. So what I'm going to do here is just use this bit of my vacuum cleaner and just use it as a bit of a template to round the edges. What I should have done that I didn't think about was when I cut out my paper template, see I can't add to that now, but I should have just stuck a bit of paper in there on a corner and chucked my template in and trimmed it out so I had a nice round edge there too. But yeah, live and learn. So I'm just going to hit this with a 120. Yeah, it's just so much nicer now. They're the little berry bits I was talking about. Just a bit of heat on there and they'll melt back in. Nice rounded edge now. Beautiful. So because that was right on that lip with a bit of a sand, I can just taper it down as well to come into that corner. Schmeck. Once the rain stops, it's just getting a bit wet at the front there, I'll clean it off. I'll get these two stuck down, then I can trace out my template to come up in here, and hopefully a single piece at the front. So yeah, this will all get cleaned out and wrapped aligned as well. Electric winch will go in. Just going to give the surface a clean. I'm just using what I've got. So I've got some mineral turpentine, then I'll just hit it with a bit of wax and grease remover. I've got it, so yeah. So here we go. I'll just keep doing this until the rag comes up clean. Right, now I'm just going to lay it down in place, chuck a couple of marks around. I'll masking tape it down. Then I'm just going to lift up one end, peel back the paper, stick down that end, or that end, probably start with this end, and just work back that way, pulling the paper back as I go. So I'm just going to give it a quick hit with wax and grease remover now before I stick it down. Just tape it all back in place on my marks. Okay, so I've got this tape down pretty well in place. I'm just going to move up here now, pull it forward. Okay, now just press it down. It's laid up perfectly.
Damn, where's that stuff on there?
Pretty close. Okay, so I've got those stuck down. They came up really good. So we're just going to work on a template now for this section. Try and use the factory cuts to keep a straight line. And drop it back 10 mil. So it's sort of tricky here. I got to decide whether I want the matting, the EVA matting, to be even and symmetrical, or if I want my gaps to be symmetrical, because this isn't dead center and straight. I think I'm just going to keep the flooring symmetrical and evenly laid out. So yeah, there might be a bit of a funny spacing around here, but I think it'll look better when these are all the same. So this offcut is perfect. So I might be able to use that length, save that strip out of there for the floor. But yeah, that's worked out well. I'll mark this up. Alright, get a rough fit before I sand it. Okay, so I've got that piece stuck in now. Didn't want to bore you with all the bits in between that I've already sort of covered with the other bits, but I just put a couple of little 10 mil markers with some pen, some marker around, just as a guide, so when I placed it down I could stick it in and keep it straight. All the lines are pretty good. Lines across the front are good. I wasn't too sure if I want to do the front, but I've gone ahead and done it. All I did was just the same as before. I just laid down a heap of paper and then just got a ruler and put my 10 mil marks around, traced out. I had cut it out in one piece, but when I laid it onto the sheet to chop it, it was too wide. So I've decided to, rather than have it like sort of in the middle in two pieces, I've continued this line here. I just chucked a ruler in here, like a big long straight edge type thing, run a line straight up, measure 10mm across, and just cut that out of my solid stencil. And yeah, laid it down, put a couple of little reference points on for when I chop it out of the foam to stick it back down. So yeah, I'll just keep chopping away and get it down. Hey, what you doing? Hey. Geez, that works well. So just to make sure the pattern lines up, I've just been doing this. Just so I can try and get a straightish line, keep my lines running in track with what they were. I've just done a mark off the side here to get it straight. Then I can line up these points. And that's pretty much what I want. I might just try and do freehand. I did that one the same way. I think it wasn't too bad. That way I can keep an eye on all the marks and the pattern at the same time. I think that looks pretty good. Make sure it's down firmly. I just got to try and follow this one up along that. Sweet. Being the cheaper eBay stuff, I think this stuff will lift. So as it's lifting, I'm just going to Sikaflex it down. As edges lift, I'll chuck a little bit on, tape it. I didn't really want to go whole hog and Sikaflex the whole thing just yet. I'll just take it as it comes. As it lifts, I'll stick it back down. So with this piece, the lines here will line up with those patterns, but up the top it's going to be a little bit wonky, just purely because that's not square. The bowsprit's not centered, that's why this sort of comes up a little bit, but I'm mainly going for my lines, my even lines, my 10mm spacings. So we'll see how it looks. This bit is going to get changed eventually when the electric anchor winch goes in anyway, so that whole front will be modified. But for now, it should be pretty good. Beautiful. I'll press down. Alright, so that's the deck done. Everything's turned out mint. Super happy with all the lines coming through here, the patterns tying up. So yeah, it's an easy job. It's just taking a bit of time planning it out with your stencils, lining up your patterns. You don't have to go as in depth to it as I did. You can still go even further into it, you know, like I could have been a lot faster with that front piece. But yeah, overall I'm really happy with the end result, and I think I used about a roll and a half for this, so really what, maybe 150 bucks in, and I've got the whole front deck done. So yeah, cheers guys.